I overcame that but now it's some more shit.
Right.
I just came off of my 10-year sentence, man. You hear me? For that bull.
Yo, you are not ready for what just dropped online. New footage of NBA YoungBoy allegedly taking out some of his own associates has surfaced, and fans are in absolute shock. The video, which is reportedly circulating on multiple social media platforms, shows a side of YoungBoy the public has never seen before. Emotions ran high as rumors exploded across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, leaving the rap world and his fanbase divided and scrambling for answers. People are asking, could this really be real? How did it get leaked? And most importantly, who's going to be next? Sources close to the situation are claiming that the incident happened after a heated dispute during what was supposed to be a private meeting. Eyewitnesses are allegedly saying the argument escalated to a point no one could control, and what happened next was nothing short of shocking. The tension between YoungBoy and his associates had been bubbling for weeks, but nobody expected it to blow up like this. The family was left divided, friends were in disbelief, and fans are flooding comment sections trying to make sense of the chaos. Some are defending YoungBoy, calling it self-defense, while others are calling for accountability. And the footage? Let's just say it's raw, unfiltered, and the kind of content that makes your jaw drop. The betrayal, the screams, the chaos, everything about it is intense. The streets are talking, blogs are buzzing, and every rapper, influencer, and reality TV star is weighing in with their hot takes. The question on everyone's mind now is, how will NBA YoungBoy respond? And what does this mean for his career and his circle? Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started, and you do not want to miss a single twist in this real-life rap drama. The streets were buzzing like never before, and the city felt heavier, almost tense, as news about NBA YoungBoy's alleged incident spread like wildfire. Nobody could believe it. Some said it was staged, others swore it was real, but the video circulating online was too intense to ignore. The footage showed YoungBoy in a dimly lit room, the air thick with tension, arguing with some of his closest associates. Voices were raised, hands gesturing wildly, faces twisted in anger and fear. Emotions ran high, and you could almost feel the fear through the screen. The betrayal was palpable, and fans immediately took sides online. Some were defending YoungBoy, insisting that he had every right to protect himself, while others were shocked and demanded answers. The family was left divided, and insiders said the tension had been simmering for weeks before exploding into full-blown chaos. Sources close to YoungBoy revealed that the fallout started with a small argument over money and loyalty. Apparently, some associates had been questioning his decisions, and YoungBoy, known for his hot temper and protective instincts, wasn't having it. "You're either with me or against me," he allegedly shouted, his voice cracking under pressure. "Don't come at me like that in my own space." One associate reportedly stepped forward, trying to calm the situation, but the words only added fuel to the fire. According to eyewitnesses, the argument quickly escalated to shoving and yelling, with YoungBoy's emotions swinging wildly between rage and disbelief. One moment he was pleading for reason. The next he was pointing fingers, threatening consequences, and the room felt like it could explode at any second. As the footage continues, you can see the physical tension mounting. Chairs were knocked over, doors slammed, and the associates were backing away, clearly shaken. Fans online were dissecting every frame, analyzing facial expressions, hand movements, even breathing patterns, claiming that this was proof of betrayal at the highest level. "Look at him. He's not just mad, he's done being played," one fan wrote. Others speculated that YoungBoy's associates had been leaking information to rivals, and this confrontation was his way of reclaiming control. The drama didn't stay confined to the room. Soon, word of the incident reached social media influencers, bloggers, and reality TV personalities, who were quick to react with their own commentary. Hashtags started trending, and memes emerged almost instantly, showing the chaos in exaggerated, humorous, but still dramatic ways. The energy online was wild, with fans split into camps, arguing over loyalty, self-defense, and morality. Meanwhile, inside YoungBoy's circle, emotions ran even higher. Family members were reportedly calling each other late at night, trying to figure out what went wrong and how to contain the situation. One insider claimed, "The family was in shambles. Nobody knew what to say. They were trying to protect him, but at the same time, they didn't know how far this would go." Friends of the associates were equally shaken, Some were in disbelief, claiming that YoungBoy would never go that far, while others admitted that his temper was well known and that maybe this confrontation had been inevitable. The tension created a ripple effect, not just for those involved, but for the wider community that follows his every move. Rumors started flying about who might be next, and whispers of revenge plots and street retaliation began circulating in underground circles. The situation was spiraling out of control, and even YoungBoy himself seemed conflicted, torn between loyalty to his crew and his own sense of justice. The footage, reportedly hours long, didn't just show an argument, it showed raw human emotion. YoungBoy was seen pacing, talking to himself, gesturing angrily at the camera at times, and yelling at associates who were cowering in fear. One particularly dramatic moment captured a heated exchange that insiders say revealed deep-seated resentment. "You think you can do me dirty and get away with it?" YoungBoy allegedly screamed. The associate's face went pale, and according to those familiar with the situation, that moment was when everything changed. Tension escalated so much that physical confrontation was inevitable, and some sources suggest that YoungBoy took measures to protect himself in ways that shocked even the most hardened fans. Outside the immediate circle, reactions were explosive. Fans flooded social media, posting theories, screenshots, and dramatic interpretations of the video. Reactions ranged from fear to fascination. Some users claimed to feel like they were witnessing history, a raw glimpse into the dangerous world YoungBoy navigates daily. "I can't believe this is real," one comment read. "He's ruthless, but I get why he's mad." Celebrities and influencers joined the conversation, some siding with YoungBoy, praising his loyalty to his inner circle, while others criticized his methods, warning that this could have serious legal consequences. Every post, every tweet seemed to add more fuel to the fire, keeping the story trending for hours. At the same time, the associates' families were reacting with shock and outrage. Insiders say some were calling lawyers, trying to figure out what this meant for their loved ones. One source said, "It wasn't just about YoungBoy. The associates had families too, and they were terrified. Nobody knew how to respond. The fear was real." Even local media picked up on the story, though their reports were mixed. Some framed it as a criminal investigation, others treated it as an unfolding rap drama. The combination of fear, celebrity, and street credibility made it impossible for people to look away. But the story didn't stop at just the confrontation. Sources say there were heated phone calls following the incident. YoungBoy was reportedly on the line with close friends and family, trying to explain his actions, expressing frustration and regret. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," he allegedly said during one call. "But you've got to understand what they were trying to do." Emotions were raw, voices cracked, and according to insiders, the conversation revealed the deep personal stakes at play. YoungBoy's career, his freedom, and his relationships were all on the line. As the night went on, the internet exploded with speculation. Some claimed the footage had been doctored. Others insisted it was real, and that the consequences were only just beginning. Theories ranged from rival rappers being involved behind the scenes, to management disputes, to personal vendettas bubbling to the surface. Drama analysts and content creators picked apart every frame, every word, creating narratives that fueled the chaos even further. Each day brought a new rumor, a new screenshot, a new leaked audio clip that added layers to the already complex story. By the early hours of the morning, the conversation had shifted. What started as a shocking argument had now morphed into a debate about trust, loyalty, and the very real consequences of life in the public eye. YoungBoy, his associates, and their families were all under scrutiny, while fans, influencers, and the media played judge and jury online. Some insiders even suggested that the fallout could lead to permanent fractures within YoungBoy's circle, changing the dynamics forever. The stage was set for what many predicted would be a dramatic escalation, and one thing was certain: nobody was walking away unchanged. Nobody was walking away unchanged. As the footage continued to circulate, more dramatic details emerged. One insider claimed that YoungBoy had confronted an associate about a secret deal that had been made behind his back. "You think I wouldn't find out?" YoungBoy allegedly yelled, slamming his fist on the table. Voices were raised, insults thrown, and for a brief moment, it seemed like the situation might spiral out of control in a way nobody could contain. Even fans watching the footage were shocked by the intensity, many commenting on how personal and raw it all felt. The loyalty, the betrayal, the anger, it was all on display, and it made the drama feel larger than life. The first night after the footage went viral was intense. The associates involved reportedly didn't know whether to go public with their side of the story, while YoungBoy was silent online, letting the video speak for itself. The community was left to speculate. Debates erupted in comment sections, and the story only grew more elaborate with each passing hour. Friends of YoungBoy said he was frustrated not just with the associates, but with the way the public was consuming and judging the situation. He's tired of people twisting things, one insider said. He just wants to protect himself and his people, but now it's out of control. As dawn approached, the scene was set for what insiders are calling the most intense period in YoungBoy's recent history. The footage had done more than shock fans. It had divided families, strained friendships, and put everyone involved under a microscope. The stakes were higher than ever, and one thing was clear. This was just the beginning of a story that would continue to unfold in the coming days, with drama, betrayal, and possibly revenge looming on the horizon. The narrative was far from over, and fans were already preparing for the next explosive chapter in the saga of NBA YoungBoy and his associates. As the sun rose the next morning, the streets were still buzzing, and social media was in full meltdown mode. Every fan, influencer, and blogger seemed to have their own take on what had happened in that room with NBA YoungBoy and his associates. Hashtags were trending worldwide, and the comments were explosive. "He's ruthless, but I get him," one fan wrote. While another said, "He crossed the line. This isn't just rap drama anymore." Insiders revealed that YoungBoy had barely slept, pacing through his mansion, replaying the confrontation over and over in his mind. He couldn't believe it came to this, one source said. He was angry, hurt, and confused. People think this is just a moment of rage, but for him, it's years of betrayal coming to a head. The associates involved were reportedly hiding out, unsure of their next move. One close friend said, "They were terrified. They knew they'd messed up, but nobody expected YoungBoy to go this far." Tensions were mounting not just in the public eye, but behind closed doors. Family members were divided, some defending YoungBoy's actions, others worried that things could spiral even further. "It's chaos," a relative admitted. "We love him, but we don't know where to start fixing this." Every call ends in yelling or tears. The emotional toll on everyone involved was becoming clear, and insiders warned that the fallout could change relationships forever. Sources claim that one of the most dramatic moments came when YoungBoy confronted an associate about money that had allegedly gone missing. Voices were reportedly raised, threats were exchanged, and accusations flew like bullets. "I trusted you, and this is how you repay me," YoungBoy allegedly shouted, slamming his hand on the counter. The associate, pale and sweating, tried to explain, saying, "I didn't take it, man. You gotta believe me." But YoungBoy wasn't convinced. Emotions ran high, and according to insiders, that moment was when the confrontation shifted from verbal to something much more dangerous. Family members reportedly tried to intervene, pleading for calm, but even their presence couldn't stop the tension from boiling over. As word of the confrontation spread, fans were dissecting every little detail. Some pointed to YoungBoy's body language, claiming it showed controlled fury, while others focused on the associates' reactions, calling them terrified and guilty. The narrative online became more dramatic by the hour, with theories ranging from rival rappers being secretly involved to management conflicts fueling the fire. "This isn't just about money or loyalty," one influencer said. "This is about power, respect, and reputation. Everyone in the room knows that." The story was no longer just a shocking clip. It was a full-blown saga with layers of betrayal, fear, and suspense that kept fans glued to their screens. Behind the scenes, the associates' families were reportedly in crisis. Some were calling lawyers, others were calling friends, trying to figure out how to navigate the chaos. One insider claimed they were scared, terrified. Nobody knew who to trust, not even within their own circle. It was a nightmare. Meanwhile, YoungBoy was reportedly confiding in a small group of loyal friends, expressing frustration and regret. "I don't want anyone to get hurt," he allegedly said during one call. "But I won't let people play me either. This ends tonight, one way or another." The combination of fear, anger, and personal stakes made it clear that the situation was far from over. Later that day, rumors began circulating that one of the associates had contacted rival crews for protection, which, according to insiders, only escalated the drama. YoungBoy allegedly found out and confronted the associate again, this time with a few loyal friends by his side. "You went behind my back?" he allegedly demanded, his voice low but dangerous. The associate tried to explain, stammering, I didn't know what else to do." But YoungBoy's anger was uncontainable. Emotions ran high. Tears were shed, and family members reportedly begged for peace. But the confrontation turned explosive once more. The associates, realizing the gravity of the situation, were trapped between fear and regret, unsure how to survive the storm that had been unleashed. Online, fans were going wild, posting reaction videos, memes and live commentary. Some fans praised YoungBoy's loyalty to his circle. Others condemned the escalation, calling it reckless and dangerous. "He's too loyal for his own good," one fan commented. "He's going to burn bridges, and maybe more." The debate split the fan base, with arguments over loyalty, justice, and morality dominating every social media platform. Reality TV personalities and rap commentators jumped into the conversation, further fueling speculation and adding layers of drama that made the story feel even bigger than the incident itself. Inside YoungBoy's home, emotions were running higher than ever. One close friend described the scene. "He was pacing, yelling at the air, talking to people who weren't even there. You could see he was hurt, angry, and scared all at the same time. It was like watching a storm in human form." YoungBoy reportedly made several phone calls, trying to smooth over tensions while also sending a clear warning to anyone thinking of betraying him. Some of these conversations were intense, with voices cracking, threats being made, and loyalty being questioned. Insiders said that the raw emotion in these calls gave a glimpse into the high stakes of YoungBoy's world, where trust is fragile and one wrong move can lead to disaster. As the night fell again, the situation seemed to reach another boiling point. YoungBoy allegedly gathered his closest associates for a tense meeting, where emotions ran wild. Accusations flew, tears were shed, and loyalties were tested in ways that fans had never seen before. "I trusted you all with my life," he allegedly shouted, slamming his fist on the table. "And this is how you repay me?" Some associates tried to defend themselves. Others stayed silent, fearing the wrath of someone they had known for years. The room reportedly felt electric with tension, as if the next move could set off a chain reaction no one could stop. The associates' reactions were a mix of fear, guilt, and desperation. One insider said, "They were scared for their lives, but also scared for their future. They knew they had messed up, but nobody knew how far YoungBoy would take it." Meanwhile, the drama spilled over into the streets and social media, with fans speculating about potential revenge, legal issues, and long-term consequences. Blogs and influencers broke down every detail of the viral footage, creating a narrative that blurred the line between reality and exaggeration, keeping the story alive and growing with each passing hour. Inside YoungBoy's circle, family members reportedly tried to mediate, pleading for calm and rational thinking. "Please, just talk it out," one relative allegedly begged. But YoungBoy's temper and sense of betrayal were too strong. Insiders claim that his eyes were full of fire, his hands shaking, and his words sharp as knives. "I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me," he allegedly demanded. The room reportedly went silent for a moment, the weight of the situation pressing down on everyone present. The tension was palpable, and anyone in the room could feel that this was a pivotal moment, one that could define loyalties and relationships forever. Loyalties and relationships forever. The night didn't end there. Insiders claim that YoungBoy allegedly took measures to protect himself, ensuring that any potential threats from within his circle were neutralized. Whether this was through intimidation, warnings, or strategic moves, the message was clear. Betrayal would not be tolerated. The associates reportedly left the meeting shaken, unsure how to respond, fearing both the public reaction and YoungBoy's next move. Fans online were dissecting these developments, posting theories, and speculating about revenge plots and fallout. Reality TV commentators weighed in, calling the situation a full-blown rap soap opera and comparing it to scenes from famous music documentaries, which only amplified the drama. By the end of the night, one thing was clear. Trust had been shattered. Emotions were raw, and the story was far from over. Insiders said that YoungBoy's circle would never be the same, and fans were already bracing for the next explosive chapter. Speculation about who would speak out next How YoungBoy would respond publicly and whether the drama would escalate into real-world consequences dominated the conversation. The mix of betrayal, fear, and loyalty had created a narrative that was impossible to ignore, leaving everyone involved and everyone watching on edge, waiting for the next twist in the saga of NBA YoungBoy and his associates. The morning after, the second night of chaos, the atmosphere around NBA YoungBoy's circle was electric, almost like the calm before a storm. Insiders claimed that while some associates were trying to lay low, the whispers of betrayal and potential retaliation were spreading like wildfire. The streets were talking, social media was buzzing, and fans were dissecting every move in real time. Speculation about who was secretly siding with whom ran rampant, and the tension between YoungBoy and his associates had reportedly reached a boiling point that insiders warned could explode at any moment. Reports surfaced that one of the associates had attempted to reach out to a mediator, hoping to smooth over the conflict. Sources said YoungBoy refused to entertain any attempts at reconciliation unless full accountability was offered. "I don't want excuses, I want loyalty," he allegedly said, pacing back and forth in a private room, while the associate stammered, "I swear, it wasn't like that, man. You gotta believe me." Emotions ran high as accusations flew across the room like sharp knives. The tension was so thick that even close friends admitted they were scared to step into the room, unsure whether the argument would turn physical or if the emotional pressure would trigger something irreversible. Meanwhile, online drama reached unprecedented levels. Fans were debating over video clips, screenshots, and leaked audio allegedly from the confrontation. Memes and reaction videos flooded TikTok and Instagram, painting YoungBoy as either a ruthless king defending his empire or a volatile figure on the verge of self-destruction. Reality TV personalities and rap news commentators jumped in, calling it one of the most dramatic situations in recent rap history. "This is bigger than any diss track or beef we've seen online," one influencer said. "This is loyalty, betrayal, and street politics colliding in real time." Summer returns. The narrative online only added more fuel to the fire, escalating the stakes and making every move by YoungBoy and his associates feel like it was under a magnifying glass. Inside YoungBoy's home, family members were reportedly at their wits' end. One insider claimed that parents, siblings, and close cousins were on constant calls, trying to intervene before things got completely out of control. They were scared for everyone involved, the source said. They wanted to calm YoungBoy down, but they also didn't want him to feel like he was losing control of his circle. It was a delicate balance, and nobody knew how to manage it. Emotions ran high, tears were shed, and voices cracked as each family member tried to make sense of a situation that seemed to spiral further with every passing hour. According to insiders, the associate who had allegedly betrayed YoungBoy tried to explain themselves again, but the confrontation turned more dramatic than ever. "I didn't do it for myself, I was trying to help," the associate reportedly said. YoungBoy's eyes, filled with anger and pain, were said to be unyielding. "Help? This is how you help me? You think loyalty is a joke?" The tension in the room reportedly made even the walls feel suffocating. Friends of both parties allegedly tried to intervene, but the situation was volatile, and it seemed that one wrong word or gesture could trigger another emotional explosion. As the day went on, rumors of a secret meeting involving rival crews allegedly reached YoungBoy. Insiders claim that this discovery pushed him to the edge. He was pacing, talking on the phone, making calls to make sure everyone knew where he stood, said one source. He wasn't backing down, but he also wasn't reckless. He wanted control, and he wanted everyone to know that betrayal would not be tolerated. And fans online speculated about what would happen next, with some predicting retaliation, others calling for legal intervention, and many simply watching in awe at how the drama was unfolding in real time. Later that night, sources claimed that YoungBoy had confronted another associate suspected of being involved in leaking information. The exchange was reportedly intense. "You think I wouldn't find out?" YoungBoy allegedly yelled. The associate, visibly shaken, attempted to defend themselves, stuttering, "I swear, I didn't do anything. You gotta trust me." The scene reportedly escalated with more accusations, slamming of doors and tears, leaving everyone in the room on edge. Insiders said it was one of the most emotionally charged moments in YoungBoy's recent history, with the weight of loyalty, betrayal, and survival hanging in the air. The associate's family members were also reportedly panicking. Some called lawyers, others contacted friends, and the tension reportedly affected even those not directly involved. One source said they didn't know what to do. They were scared for their loved one, but also scared of what YoungBoy would do next. It was chaos, pure chaos. The mixture of fear, guilt, and suspense created an environment where no one felt safe, and every action was scrutinized under the lens of loyalty, trust, and reputation. As the night deepened, the situation reportedly took a darker turn. Insiders claimed that YoungBoy, frustrated with ongoing disloyalty, allegedly made a move that shocked even his closest friends. He set boundaries, he made threats, but he also showed that he wouldn't let betrayal slide, one source said. The associates involved reportedly realized the gravity of the situation and began to fear the consequences of their actions. Fans online speculated endlessly about what these measures were, with theories ranging from intimidation tactics to stricter control over the circle, each more dramatic than the last. Tensions spilled back into social media. Influencers created elaborate theories connecting YoungBoy's drama with previous incidents, suggesting hidden motives, secret alliances, and long-term plans for revenge or reconciliation. Hashtags like March NB exclusive, Ya loyalty drama, and Our YoungBoy chaos were trending globally, with fans dissecting every frame of leaked footage. He's not just defending himself, he's defending an empire, one fan wrote. And that empire runs on loyalty, respect, and fear. Cross him, and you learn the hard way. The online narrative became almost as dramatic as the events themselves, blurring the line between reality and entertainment. Insiders also revealed that YoungBoy's own mental state was fragile. He was exhausted, angry, and emotionally drained, one source said. He had to think about the circle, the family, and the fans. He knew that every decision he made would have consequences. It was like walking a tightrope over a pit of fire. The combination of public scrutiny, private betrayal, and personal stakes reportedly made the situation more intense than anything YoungBoy had faced in years. Every move was calculated, every word weighed, and yet the raw emotions threatened to spill over at any moment. Towards the end of the week, insiders claimed that the drama reached a climax when YoungBoy allegedly gathered everyone for a private sit-down. The air was reportedly tense, with everyone present aware that this could be a turning point. Accusations, defenses, and apologies were reportedly exchanged in a room that felt like it was ready to explode at any second. YoungBoy allegedly made it clear that loyalty would be the only currency moving forward, and that betrayal would not be tolerated under any circumstances. Some associates reportedly broke down, crying and pleading for forgiveness, while others remained silent. As the night drew on, sources said that even friends outside the immediate circle were nervously observing. Unsure whether the situation would escalate further, the drama was no longer contained to private spaces. It had spilled into the streets, social media, and even mainstream media outlets. Fans were glued to every update. Analysts were breaking down the situation frame by frame, and the suspense of what would happen next kept everyone on edge. Insiders warned that the fallout could have long-term consequences, reshaping relationships, alliances, and reputations within YoungBoy's circle forever. By the end of the week, it was clear that the saga had reached a new level of intensity. The combination of betrayal, loyalty, fear, and public scrutiny had created a narrative that fans could not look away from. Insiders said that YoungBoy was determined to regain control, protect himself, and ensure that anyone who had crossed him understood the consequences. The drama was far from over, and everyone involved, associates, family members, and fans alike, was bracing for the next explosive chapter in the ongoing story of NBA YoungBoy and his associates. As the week turned into the weekend, the tension surrounding NBA YoungBoy and his associates reached a fever pitch. Insiders claimed that every move in his circle was being watched, every word analyzed, and every phone call suspected of carrying hidden motives. The associates who had survived the previous confrontations were reportedly terrified, unsure whether they were truly forgiven or simply being bided for another emotional explosion. YoungBoy's mood, according to sources, was unpredictable. One moment calm and calculating, the next filled with rage and hurt. Reports surfaced that YoungBoy allegedly decided to confront the ringleader of the betrayal once and for all. Friends and family begged him to take a step back, warning that emotions were too high and that the situation could spiral even further. One relative reportedly pleaded, "Please, just let it go. We can fix this without more chaos." But YoungBoy's response was said to be cold and determined. "I can't let this slide," he allegedly said. "I built this from the ground up. Loyalty isn't optional. It's everything." Sources claimed that the atmosphere in the house was electric, with associates nervously anticipating every word and the family standing on edge, afraid of what might happen next. As the confrontation unfolded, insiders said that the emotions in the room were overwhelming. Accusations flew, apologies were half-hearted, and tensions threatened to boil over into something irreversible. YoungBoy reportedly paced back and forth, fists clenched, eyes burning with a mixture of anger and disappointment. "I trusted you with everything," he allegedly shouted. "Everything! And this is what I get," one associate reportedly attempted to explain, stammering. "I didn't mean for it to happen this way. I was just trying to survive." But YoungBoy's voice cut through the excuses. "Survive? You survive by being loyal. That's the only rule here." Tears reportedly streamed down the faces of some associates, while others remained silent, frozen in fear. According to insiders, what happened next shocked even those closest to YoungBoy. He allegedly decided that drastic action was necessary to ensure the safety and loyalty of his circle. Sources claimed that he made a series of strategic moves, isolating those he believed were disloyal and bringing in only the most trusted friends. He wanted to make sure that no one could ever betray him again, one insider said. It wasn't just about anger, it was about survival, respect, and sending a message that loyalty had a price. Fans online immediately speculated, creating theories ranging from secret disappearances to public ultimatums, fueling the viral frenzy surrounding the story. The associates were reportedly left terrified and unsure of their next move. Insiders claimed that one associate, who had been particularly vocal in defending themselves, broke down in tears, begging for forgiveness. "I'll do anything. Please don't let this end like this," they allegedly said. YoungBoy, according to sources, remained stoic, his expression unreadable. Some close friends said he took a long pause before speaking, his words measured but heavy with warning. "Actions have consequences," he allegedly said. "This isn't a game. This is life, and life doesn't forgive betrayal." The room reportedly went silent, the weight of his words settling over everyone like a storm cloud. Outside the home, the fallout had reached social media in full force. Fans were posting reaction videos, memes, and live commentary, dissecting every alleged movement and leaked snippet. Influencers debated whether YoungBoy had crossed a moral line, or whether his actions were justified in a world where loyalty is currency. "This isn't just drama," one influencer said. "This is a masterclass in power, trust, and fear. Watch closely, because it's unlike anything we've seen in rap news before." Hashtags like YoungBoy loyalty, Jew betrayal fallout, and Ember drama were trending worldwide, drawing millions of eyes to the ongoing saga. The family, meanwhile, reportedly remained in crisis mode. Insiders claimed that some members were pleading for reconciliation, while others were advising caution. "We love him, but we're scared," one relative reportedly said. "We don't know what could happen next, and we're caught in the middle." The associates' families were also reportedly panicking, trying to understand the stakes and protect their loved ones. The combination of fear, guilt, and uncertainty made the atmosphere emotionally explosive, with every conversation potentially escalating the drama further. As night fell, sources claimed that YoungBoy took a surprising step, one that reportedly shocked even his closest allies. Instead of continuing to intimidate, he allegedly extended a fragile olive branch to some associates, offering them a chance at redemption if they demonstrated true loyalty and commitment. "Prove your loyalty," he allegedly said, "and maybe we can move forward. Betray me again, and there's no coming back." Insiders said that the room was tense, with some associates cautiously nodding, while others still trembled with fear. The emotional stakes were higher than ever, and fans online speculated endlessly about who would survive and who might fall next. Rumors began circulating about secret meetings and private reconciliations, but insiders warned that trust had been shattered beyond repair. Even those who survived the confrontations reportedly knew that they would never operate in the same way again. "Nothing is the same," one source said. "Every move, every word, every glance is being measured. It's like walking on a tightrope over a pit of fire, and nobody wants to fall." The tension, fear, and uncertainty made the drama feel larger than life, blurring the lines between reality and the viral spectacle fans were consuming online. By the end of the weekend, it was clear that YoungBoy had regained some control, but the consequences of the week's events were only beginning to unfold. Insiders claimed that the associates who survived were forever changed, their loyalty tested in ways that would affect every future decision. Fans were glued to every update, debating the morality, loyalty, and fear that had dominated the saga. Reality TV personalities and rap news channels continued to break down every clip, theory, and leaked conversation, amplifying the drama to a global audience. Sources revealed that YoungBoy himself was reflecting on the events, reportedly torn between anger, regret, and the need to protect his circle. "I didn't want it to get this far," he allegedly said in a private call. "But I won't let people play me. Loyalty is everything, and everyone in my life knows that now." Insiders said that the intensity of the week had changed him, sharpening his focus, reinforcing his sense of authority, and making it clear that betrayal would carry consequences that could last a lifetime. The saga concluded the weekend with uncertainty hanging in the air. No one outside YoungBoy's inner circle knew what the next chapter would hold, and even those inside were wary, cautious, and aware that trust could be shattered again in an instant. The combination of family tension, emotional confrontations, public scrutiny, and loyalty tests created a story that fans would discuss for weeks, if not months. Insiders claimed that the lesson was clear. In YoungBoy's world, betrayal is deadly, loyalty is priceless, and the stakes are always high. As the night ended, sources said that the family was left divided. Associates were fearful, and fans were more obsessed than ever. The viral footage that started the saga had become more than just a clip. It had become a story of power, loyalty, betrayal, and survival. Social media commentary, influencer reactions, and mainstream coverage ensured that the drama would not fade. And the suspense of what might happen next kept the story alive in the minds of millions. And just like that, the saga of NBA YoungBoy and his associates has left fans in total shock. Emotions ran high, the family was left divided, and alliances that once seemed unbreakable were tested in ways nobody saw coming. Insiders say the fallout is far from over, and the question on everyone's mind remains: who will survive the next wave of drama, and who will finally pay the price for betrayal? The streets are buzzing, social media is on fire, and every fan is speculating about what could happen next in this tangled web of loyalty, power, and survival. Loyalty, power, and survival. While some associates are reportedly scrambling to prove themselves, others are reportedly walking on eggshells, fearful of what YoungBoy might do next. And with leaked footage and secret conversations continuing to surface online, the suspense is only growing. Fans are dissecting every frame,